Good evening, my dear friends. It's my pleasure to meet you all again through this virtual platform. And this particular video is all about learning technological tools to enhance LSRW skills, where in ELT classes we have been learning approaches, methods to learn the languages. We have learned the traditional ways and alternative methods, and recent trends we have learned it. And the next step, we have learned how to enhance listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. And we have learned even through literature how can we use drama or poetry to enhance our language. And in this aspect, we are going to learn how to use the technological elements to learn or enhance our LSRW skills. So that's what we are going to learn. It is in the fourth unit, the last aspects. So hope you are ready with your taking aspects, and it would be good to learn and to practice these technological tools to enhance our listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. Let's get started. So first, listening skill, and we have podcast and audio books. So it is like apps, especially like Spotify. I hope many of you would have been using this Spotify app to listen to the cine songs, but why can't we use it for enhancing our language? So apps like Spotify, Audible, and BBC Learning English, they offer English courses, especially listening materials, and it is focusing on the listening comprehension questions. And we have language learning apps, namely Duolingo, Babbel, and Rosetta Stone. And in fact, at the end of this particular video lecture, I would be telling you the apps or the tools that includes all the four skills in one, like so all the three, Duolingo, Babbel, and Rosetta Stone, they have structured in such a way their listening exercises would be there along with interactive audio dialogues. Okay, so it is not only listening, rather it gives you a chance also of speaking aspects also. And we have some YouTube and video streaming services, YouTube, Netflix, and TED Talks. Netflix, I hope you'd have been using it, but are we using it for the language learning aspect? It's a question mark. So just uh, try to practice listening skill by using YouTube, Netflix, and TED Talks. And TED Talks according to your wish, according to the speaker that whom you like. Okay, in line with it, you can use it. And through this, you can reinforce your listening comprehension, and you could also build vocabulary. Once I have come across a learner, he's from economics department, where the rest of the learners are struggling to talk in English, but that one particular person was in the language ascent of Roman reigns. I just asked him, Sir, my dear boy, how have you learned or practiced this particular skill? He said, Ma'am, I am interested in wrestling. And I have been following Roman Reigns for a long period of time. So I started developing, imitating his language, and slowly I have received this particular accent like. It's good, right? It's not only watching something for entertainment's sake, rather learning something to improve the language matters a lot. And we have 10 tools of this is my flow of language, where for all the skills I have given 10 tools. Okay, it may be the app or software or website or any technological oriented tool it may be. So where we have BBC Learning English podcast, it offers us a variety of topics, and it is especially for listening skill. And we have TED Talks. It is a culmination or combination of both native speakers as well as Indian speakers also. So various topics are there, and it will be helpful for us to learn the vocabulary, accent, and for comprehension. And Spotify, it is of language learning podcast, where it hosts several podcasts. English learners with varying levels of difficulty, you can choose it. And we have Audible. Audible is entirely filled with audiobooks. It is of fictional and non-fictional and short stories. It aids us in helping or understanding the pronunciation and intonation aspects. And we have Elsa Speak. I hope most of you would have been using it. It is of AI-based app focusing on listening and pronunciation practice. It will give you instant feedback. And we have English Class 101, and it provide audio lessons. It has been meant and prepared especially for English language learners, and it is coming along with the transcriptions also. So that if you can't cope up with the language, you could look up the transcription or transcripts and you could use it. And we have BBC World News Radio. It is two fruitful things. One is we are learning the native English language. Second thing is we are being aware of what is happening around the world. We will be coming to know the global news also. So where it will be enhancing the listening and reading comprehension, and not reading, listening comprehension. Since it is radio, same thing is coming in the format of news also. And we have YouTube channels, especially Lucy's as well as Rachel's English and BBC English, where we would be getting some tips of how to practice or how to understand the native content. And we have Google Podcast, and then we have news in levels, news stories we have. Okay. So according to your language level or the proficiency level, you could select the options. In all these 10 tools, we have the levels of criteria. I hope you remember gradation, simple to complex. It has been designed in that such way. And in the aspect of speaking skill, we have a speech recognition software. It is not practicing in offline, rather, it is of uh, speaking in front of the Google softwares or any other voice recognition or speech recognition software. It will check a language for its accuracy of pronunciation, intonation, and the apt diction, and it will give you the feedback on pronunciation and the vocabulary aspects such. So especially we have Google voice typing and Dragon naturally speaking, Speechling. Okay, all these three are somewhat useful for testing our voices and checking the language level of us. And we have language exchange apps. We have HelloTalk, Tandem, where we would be connecting with the native speakers for live conversations, and we would be having some speaking practice with them. And we have virtual AI assistants. For example, we have Google Assistant, we have Siri, where we can have a casual conversation, not in written or text typing format, rather in speaking aspect. So where we would have the pronunciation practice by giving the commands and asking the questions. Okay, and we have some apps for it. It is Hello Talk, and where in it, language. It is a language exchange app to practice speaking with native speakers in real time. We have Cambly. I hope at least any one speaker, one of the learners in our class would be using this Cambly. So Cambly, where it connects the users for the live sessions with English tutors, but it is a kind of paid payment would be there. Okay, you have to pay and then use it, and it focuses especially on the fluency aspect. And sometimes it would be speaking with the Indianized way of talking, or some L1 imitation would be there. For example, recently I have come across an advertisement which tells, I am coming from Ranchi. I hope I would have shared this with you. I am coming from Ranchi. So நான் இங்கிருந்து வருகிறேன். It is in Tamil, which is wrong. Okay, I come from. It is not coming from. It is I come from. So where the over reliance of Tamil or any other mother tongue curl down by speaking with the native speaker, and they would be correcting our fluency. And we have pronunciation coach. Again, it is an AI based tool, and it will be giving the feedback on the pronunciation aspect. And we have speaking. It is a social language exchange app where again we have the facility to speak with the native speakers. You could ask, ma'am, in all the things you are telling, you could speak with native speakers. Please be focused on the authenticity of whom do you talk and privacy issues, please focus it on. Okay, and we have Elsa Speak. Again, it is an AI powered app. It is especially used on pronunciation and spoken English aspects. And we have SpeechLink. SpeechLink, it is of coaching the users to speak with native language, and where we will be recording and sending the language prompt, okay, language that we are practicing. So after seeing to the recorded aspect, they would be giving us the feedback. And we have Pencilia. So this language learning app emphasizes on both listening as well as speaking. Okay, both the skills would be trained in it. And we have Italki. So Italki, it is of more personalized tutors. You would be getting more personalized teachers for speaking conversations. Maybe with one person, you could have been spent some 3 months of time period like. And we have Google Assistant. I hope many of us would be tried out. And it engage in simple conversational exercises by asking questions and giving commands. And we have Tandem. Tandem, it is a language exchange app. So where we would be speaking with again the native speakers for real life conversation practice. So in all the tools that I have given, everything would have been spoken with native speakers. So it is up to you which is feasible for you. The personalized element must be chosen by you people. And in the aspect of reading skill, we have ebooks and online reading platforms we have, and where in ebooks we have the apps like Kindle, and we have Google Books. We can download it, and Project Gutenberg, another reading platform where we can get the materials, we can read the books. Okay, and where in Kindle and Google Books, it is of reading materials where dictionaries have been built in. So even when you don't know the vocabulary and its meaning, you could select and check the meaning in the same place itself. It provides also the pronunciation aspect. Okay, and another thing is online reading platforms. As I mentioned, Project Gutenberg and Newsla, they offer free. Sometimes it is paid version is available for materials. So where we can read and we can improve the reading comprehension. Okay, sometimes what makes sense of a reading for that particular element, reading comprehension, the comprehension that makes the sense of a text. If I read something, what is the objective that I aiming for? Okay, it is of comprehension. I must understand what am I reading. It is not simply I read ebook readers, online reading platforms, language learning sites, not like that. Rather, I must comprehend what I am reading. What is the meaning of those words? Like that, I must understand. So, the real sense of the reading practice is comprehension. And we have language learning sites, for example, Link and ReadLang. It allows the learners to read the content, and we have that translation options also. And but it has only selective languages in its translation site, and so that it makes easier for the learners to understand the new vocabulary in that particular context. Okay, so where we have the tools like Read Theory, it provides reading passages at different levels where we have to complete comprehension questions, and then we have to move to the other levels. And as mentioned, Project Gutenberg, we have free access to wide range of English books for reading practice. Some books which we may not find it in our own library, or some books may be very expensive, you could go with those free e-libraries where you can download and read it. And we have link it in this language learning app. Reading materials would be there where we can learn the vocabulary in the particular context, like contextualized manner. And we have bilingual app, so it is of short stories especially. And besides, we would be having the translations also. So you have to select what is your mother tongue that you want, and as well as the target language that you want to learn, and you can read side by side, okay, so that your comprehension would be somewhat more meaningful. And we have a newsletter. So here we have a lot of articles on various topics. So according to your area of interest, you can select and read different levels, and it is according to your interest and your taste levels. And we have English e-reader. So where here the abridged version of novels or short stories would be categorized according to the skill levels. Okay, for speaking skill, what kind of stories, reading, what kind of things like. And we have Merriam-Webster dictionary app. I hope most of you would be using it. And it is to expand our vocabulary and to understand the vocabulary also. And we have Epic. We have It is a digital library, especially offering for the students. The institution will be getting some ID by paying some amount, and you could get the code or the free access from your library, and you could use it. So according to your age appropriate level, you could select the resource. And we have Story Weaver. So Story Weaver, in this reading app, we have hundreds of short stories, and it is of different reading levels are available. And we have Quizlet, and it is of vocabulary flashcards, and it is related to various topics, and it aids in reading comprehension. Okay, and the last skill that we have is writing skill. So where it is, when it is coming in the aspect of writing, it most probably would be focusing on grammar elements. So improving your writing skill, in the sense it is not about handwriting, separate apps are there. When it is of writing skill, it is about providing the grammatically correct sentences in the correct syntax order. Okay, so for that, we have grammar and writing improvement tools. Grammarly, we have Pro Writing Aid. So, where it will give you the instant feedback on what is the quality of your writing is. So, the feedback may be on the grammatical elements and the punctuation and the style of writing. Okay, so it will give you some suggestions. You could select it, and the suggestions may be on various levels, on all the grammar aspect. Let it be voice, active or passive, let it be the sentence construction, whether you are using the apt vocabulary, punctuation mark, the style of talk, or the sentence is too longer, so, or the direct or indirect speech aspects. It would be focusing on all the elements. Sometimes too much of words it will focus on. Okay, so where Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid, it will help you to learn the correct form of writing. But one aspect is you can't blindly believe whatever they are giving. Like sometimes it may be grammatically correct, but it is not that much apt in providing you the comprehensive meaning of the sentence. Grammatically, it is correct. Okay, subject, verb, object would be there, but it may not give you the correct meaning all the time. So don't depend on these improvement tools all the time. Rather, make use of your cognitive element in checking or double check your level of quality of writing. Second is collaborative writing platforms where we have Google Docs. We can have the reading, editing aspects. You can receive comments from your peers as well as from your teachers or from the third person, third party, and you can practice writing skill with feedback. Okay, and we have the journaling apps and which I personally like a lot. It is like apps like Penzo and Day One. So where it enables you to write your personal things, regular writing practice. It helps you to improve your structure and especially coherence. We are writing a paragraph, but do we have the link between one sentence with the another sentence? So cohesion and coherence, it will seek for the two elements, and slowly, gradually, you will also notice the improvement in your vocabulary. Okay, so journaling apps, it is another an important thing, but make sure that you are not sharing much more personalized elements in this particular apps. Data security elements must be focused on here. So the apps or the tools that we have here is we have Grammarly, and as I said, it provides grammar and style of writing suggestions, and it enhances the clarity as well as the correctness, accuracy in writing it will give. And we have Hemingway app, so it helps us making us to write clearly, and especially the complex sentence construction it will be focusing on, and it will enable us to see from the third person's point of view whether do we get some readability in that particular aspect. What we write we may understand, but what do we write, is it understandable for the third person? So it will help you to understand regarding the readability issues. Okay, and next one is Quillbot. It is especially used for paraphrasing the elements, a kind of summarizing. So where you can read, you can paraphrase, and you can edit and enhance the correct vocabulary that must be placed. I hope in writing skill we have come across a lot of process of writing and process writing. Two things I would have mentioned in that video lecture. Where process writing, it is a type of writing. Process of writing is what are the steps, processes that are being involved in it. Where you would have seen drafting, editing, okay, and proofreading, all the elements have been involved. So in Quillbot, it will help you to write the paraphrases easily, summarizing element easily. Like, and we have Google Docs. So Google Docs, it is like built-in grammar and spelling checkers will be there, and even the third person or the mentor would be helping you in refine your writing. Maybe the third person or the teacher could be doing this work. And we have Pro Writing Aid. Actually, this is an AI tool, and it offers us the suggestions, especially on grammar and sentence construction aspect, readability issues, the style of writing, point of view of writing, and it will give you the suggestions in practicing the grammatically accurate sentences. Like, and we have my writing lab. It has been of Pearson's, so it provided structured lessons based on the grammar aspect, starting from parts of speech, sentence construction, sentence pattern, and then the types of sentences, and then negation. Okay, all the translations or transcriptions could be done in it. So but it has been structured according to the level of difficulty. And we have Slick Write. Again, it is an editing tool. It checks for grammar and stylistic issues, and it helps you in getting or adapting to the apt vocabulary. Sometimes what we speak, we used to write it in the paper when we write the things. But we must focus on that what we speak, the vocabulary that we used to speak is different from written communication. So spoken communication, a set of vocabulary could be used, but written communication, the vocabulary could be used. Okay, so we can see it should not be used in written communication. Okay, so where the written communication and spoken communication, the vocabulary are, words are different. Okay, so accordingly we must cull out the diction, the apt word. Okay, and we have Storybird. So Storybird, it is a platform to create stories, and it is promoting creativity. One thing is critical thinking, another one is creative thinking. It helps you to enhance or build your own passages in the form of narration. So through, so that you could learn the narrative element, the narration element, descriptive format you will be learning it, and chronological element you will be learning it. Okay, and we have 750 words, so it encourages daily writing, and it helps you to build the writing fluency. Fluency, it is not only in speaking, rather in writing also we have the fluent of ideas, and we have a word counter. So it is not only counting the words, but it also check the reading level of yours, and how far you have understood the grammar aspect, and what kind of variety that you are bringing into the sentence. Okay, everything would be counted. It is not as word counted in the sense, not only how many words, 750 words in that particular passage, not like that. Rather, it counts your grammar elements and how far you are knowledgeable in that particular aspect, and it will also focus on the kind of sentence varieties that you have produced. Okay, so having stated that, it's time for us to know where one app or one tool that focuses on all the four skills. Okay, so far I have told you for listening, speaking, reading, writing. But now the tools names that I'm going to give you focuses is on the integration of all the four skills. The real language learning lies in integration. Let it be the integration of cognitive and affective factor. Let it be the integration of receptive and productive skills. Okay. Here, the integration of all the four skills come into the format, and integration with technological element. Okay, so let's learn what are the platforms or the technological tools that we could use to develop or enhance all our four language skills. First one is Mango Languages and Wuzu, Memrise, Lingoda, edX, Cambly, Hello English by Culturally, Rosetta Stone, British Council Learn English, Duolingo, Coursera. Coursera, it is not all the things, but especially of two universities. One is of University of Washington, and another one is University Georgia University. So where the courses that they provide, it focuses on enhancing all our four language skills. Okay, so where if we take at least any one of these things, it would be helpful in improving our language. Okay, so I just would like to bring you from the beginning. So in today's class we have learned about technological tools that we use in order to improve listening skill. And in listening, we have seen podcast and audiobooks, and we have also seen the language learning apps and YouTube videos, and how to use Netflix and TED Talks. And we have learned the technological tools. Okay, if you just memorize these names and left, there is no use in it. At least when you are free, please search it and find out some new elements in it. Okay, even Spotify, some might have you subscribed for it, could have listened from those things. Okay, but we must say check the authenticity of the material that we are listening. So for authenticity, you can very well rely on the standardized BBC Learning English podcast. Okay, as well as BBC World News radios you could focus on. Okay, and for speaking skill, we have seen the speech recognition softwares, especially Google Voice Typing, Dragon, Naturally Speaking, and SpeechLink. And we have seen some apps as well as AI assistants like Google Assistant and Siri. And we have seen certain 10 tools to learn it. And we have seen reading skill. For reading skill, it is especially on ebooks. Okay, especially the use of Kindle and Google Books and Project Gutenberg and Newsla. And we have seen some learning sites also, language learning sites like Link and Readlang. Okay, and we have seen how these reading platforms help us in comprehending the meaning of the text. Okay, and we have seen for writing skill, and it is focusing mostly on the grammatical accuracy of the language that we give. Writing fluency, it has checked. Okay, and where we have seen certain collaborative writing forms. Collaborative in the sense, I write, it is not only with me, even many other would be collaborated in it through technology, through internet. Even ma'am can, or my teacher can correct it, my friend can correct it, I can do the editing work there. And we have seen the journaling apps also. Okay, and we have seen the four in one. Okay, four skills but in one platform. Okay, we have seen some 10 examples for all the four skills in one language app. Thus, so it focuses on whatever I have, the technological tools that I have given you. It focuses on all the skills, LSRW skills, and with exercises they would be giving it to you, and it would be including the quizzes also. Okay, and where even we could form a community. Okay, so the particular learners could be forming a community so that you can learn together, share ideas together, and give and take the feedback also. You can give feedback for other learners, and beside others also could give you the feedback. Okay, and using these tools consistently, we can bring out some significant changes in our language skills. Okay, so that a balanced view of traditional as well as technological elements would be formed. If you ask me, ma'am, will these technological elements would be sufficient? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely. Technological tools are just the materials that we use in order to boost our language. It is not the entire teacher. So, along with the traditional teachers, we must mend the language that we use. On the whole, in this ELT course, we have learned the methods to learn the language, approaches to learn the languages, starting from GTM, ALM, and we have come to communicative. It is not only repeating, rather we have come to the communicative element, and we have gradually, we have come to the level of task-based, and we have gone to MI, and the next level of alternative theories like natural approach, TPR, and CLL. And we have gently come to the level of it is not only with approaches and methods, rather, we have come to the language enhancing aspects through skills. And we have seen how to enhance each skill by doing some activities, some strategies to develop it. Okay, and then we have come to the literature aspect, how literature could be used to enhance our skills. And we have seen the elements of uh, how this online platforms call could be developed like. Okay, and in today's class we have seen how the technological tools could be developed or used in enhancing a particular skills. Okay, hope you could make use of it in your personal life, and make sure that don't learn these technological tools only for the sake of language, only for the sake of writing in the examinations. Rather, learn it to enhance your language, at least in your free time. Hope you would be using it in your day to day life. And thank you. We shall meet in the next virtual lessons. Until then, be safe and write your exams well. Thank you.